Title: The Final Goodbye, a story of love, loss, and faith. The hospital room was quiet except for the steady beeping of the monitors. James sat beside his mother's bed, holding her frail hand. Her breathing was shallow, her eyes half closed. He had spent his whole life running from God, but now, in this moment, he found himself whispering the one prayer he had never said before. God, if you're real, don't take her, please. His mother's fingers trembled in his grasp. She opened her eyes, just barely, and smiled at him. James, my sweet boy. He blinked back tears. Mom, save your strength. You're going to get better. The doctors... She shook her head weakly. James, listen to me. Her voice was barely a whisper. I'm going home, but I need you to promise me something. His chest tightened. Mom, don't talk like that. Promise me, you'll find your way back to him. James clenched his jaw. Even now, she still believed. Even now, she still wanted him to turn to a God he had long stopped believing in. He couldn't answer her. His throat was too tight, his heart too shattered. She squeezed his hand with the last of her strength. He's never left you, James. Even when you ran, he stayed. A tear slipped down her cheek. Her lips moved, but the words were too soft to hear. And then, the beeping slowed, a long final breath. James froze. Mom? The monitor let out a long, flat tone. No, 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 Mom, please. But she was gone. James buried his face in her lifeless hand, sobbing. The mother who had never stopped loving him, never stopped praying for him, was gone. And he had never even told her. He believed, because he didn't. And now, it was too late. The days after the funeral were a blur. People came and went, offering condolences, saying how strong his mother's faith had been. How she had prayed for him every single day. It made him sick. If God was real, why had he taken her? Why had he left him alone? One night, unable to sleep, James found himself in his mother's room. Everything was just as she had left it. Her Bible on the nightstand, the blanket she had knitted, folded neatly at the edge of the bed. And then he saw it. An envelope. His name written in her handwriting. With shaking hands, he opened it. My dearest James, if you're reading this, it means I've gone home to be with Jesus. I know you don't believe, but my love, he has never stopped believing in you. I know you're hurting, I know you're angry, and I know you're wondering why God would take me away. But James, life isn't about how long we have. It's about how we use the time we're given. And my greatest joy in life was being your mother. I don't need you to believe right away. I just need you to be open. Open to the possibility that God has never left you. Open to the idea that maybe, just maybe, my prayers weren't wasted. When the time comes, and you find yourself searching for something more, promise me this: you won't close your heart. You were never alone, my sweet boy, and you never will be. With all my love, Mom. James clutched the letter to his chest, his body racked with sobs. For the first time in years, he whispered words he had forgotten how to say. God, if you're there, please. I don't know what to do anymore. And in the silence, in the darkness, something shifted. Not a voice, not a miracle. Just peace. A warmth that wrapped around him like his mother's embrace. He didn't have all the answers. He didn't know if he ever would. But for the first time in forever, he didn't feel alone. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe. Someone out there needs this message today. Maybe that someone is you.